Welcome everybody to this AI Solutions to Architecture course from Elevator. I have been doing AI for 10 years. So I started this journey. Oh my goodness. As I said, back 2015, 2016, I started kind of big data was becoming a big thing at that time. And then suddenly there was some really interesting work done in the field of object recognition, and this thing just started to kick off.
The very first step when you start anything is to understand the business problem, draw the box around the problem. So data science is a data scientist. The original idea was somebody who would understand math and understand statistics, but also understood business and actually could translate the business requirements into the right thing to actually get useful, relevant answers. So the first step in the business understanding is to understand the goals, define the objectives, understand what is the measurement of success, understand how it aligns with strategy. I know it sounds weird, but sometimes you don't want to build a model because it's not something that may be useful for the business. Because anytime you go through this process, you invest resources. So understanding what is strategically important and not important is actually an unimportant factor there.
So let's say you are Amazon, right? And you are trying to sell more because they're prime. Actually, Amazon's Prime Day apparently didn't go that well last week or the week before, right? So, so they're going to go scratching the edge right now. I'm not being gleeful. That's just unfortunately that's what's happened to them. So they're probably scratching the heads right now. How do we build better models to get more people to buy more stuff? And then what they'll have to do is they'll have to get all the data from Prime Day and maybe the usage patterns. They're already doing this, by the way, all the time, but they'll have to get all that data and collect it and obviously prepare that data. It'll be things like clickstream analysis and where people have clicked, and they'll put that and prepare all of that data into a set of you have to modify some of this stuff mathematically, like I think I've talked about it at a very high level. Next week on Monday we'll talk about it at a little deeper level at the code level, but we will encode it. We will make certain columns, make certain columns in a certain direction. We will normalize it, all of that sort of stuff. And then once we've got that, they'll start probably looking at building things like recommendation systems, which I think some of you guys have mentioned, but and they will try to understand what really excites people once they buy that. And then they'll create this very large sparse data set, and then they'll train a set of models, and it'll be probably a number of different types of models. But the four tools that you will come across in the wild, so to speak, are things like Pandas. Pandas is really good. A lot of data scientists use Pandas. It's really good for data that could fit into your laptop, essentially, or your computer. It works in a single core, and it will modify stuff in memory. It would modify stuff, but until recently, it didn't modify stuff on the file system, so to speak. It would do it in memory. As long as you've got enough memory, it's fast, it works, it's great. So for small scale experimentation, Pandas is always good. And I'll go through a lot of Pandas today. But things like Polars, which is a Rust implementation of the data frame manipulation, is actually a little bit more performant because A, it's written in Rust. B, it can read data sets and change data sets, I think, on the file system, and it's multiple core.
Okay, these images, by the way, I generated for using GenAI because why not? It's quite fun. Perhaps when I was writing these slides, I needed to keep myself humored, right? So, but yeah, this is my friend ML, the model. Emily, perhaps should be called Emily, actually. No, I should call it Emily. But it's the same picture, right? So just a little model is trying to draw a best fit line. That is a regression model. And then instead of the little child, you've got a little model trying to work out the difference between the cats and the dogs. And that's the classification.
So I have this file, and then I can go in and I can read the file and I create the data frame, and then I can do things like reshaping, and I'm doing LSTM on this. So, so reshaping just is changing. I'm just changing the way that the data looks, right? Because I need to reshape it for the input into a deep learning network. And then this is just the whole stuff, right? Scaling. Again, this is pre-processing. This is again train, trace, split. I mean, everything. I mean, this is. I mean, once you get the basics of this, is not. I mean, even between deep learning, machine learning, this is not massively different. Really look forward to spending the next 8 weeks with you guys, and yeah, hopefully some of you are going to become master AI experts, right, or master AI architects, because we need quite a few, right? So look forward to it. Take care.